Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are looking at something that goes way beyond just chatting with an AI. We're talking about an AI that can actually be your digital coworker. We're going to explore what happens when your AI stops just suggesting things and actually starts doing the work for you.
I mean, let's be real. You've probably used AI to brainstorm some ideas, maybe summarize a long article, or even draft an email. But what happens next? You're still the one doing all the digital grunt work, right? The copying, the pasting, the formatting, organizing files. The AI does the cool thinking part, and you get stuck with all the tedious doing.
Well, this right here is what people call the execution gap. Think of it like this. An AI consultant can give you a blueprint, but an AI coworker actually helps you build the house. And that's where this new breed of AI comes in. They're called execution agents, and their entire job is to close that gap by actually doing the tasks and delivering finished work, not just a bunch of suggestions.
So let's dive into a perfect example of this in action. Claude CoWork. This is Anthropic's new tool, and it's designed from the ground up to be that true digital coworker we're talking about, making that huge leap from just conversation to real, tangible execution.
So what's the big deal here? Well, it's all about shifting from being reactive to proactive. A chatbot just sits there, right? It waits for you to type something. An execution agent? Man, that's a different beast entirely. You can point it at a messy folder, tell it what you need, and it just goes to work, handling complex, multi-step jobs all on its own, and then dropping the finished files right back on your computer.
So how on earth does it do all this? Basically, CoWork runs in its own little secure sandbox right on your computer. This gives it some pretty insane capabilities. It can get its hands on your local files directly. It can manage a team of smaller sub-agents to tackle really complex jobs. And it can spit out professional files like PowerPoint presentations and Excel spreadsheets. It can even run tasks on a schedule or go out and browse the internet for you.
And this is where it gets really exciting, right? We're not talking about saving a few minutes. We're talking about taking tasks that used to eat up your entire afternoon and crushing them with a single prompt. Just imagine pointing it at your chaotic downloads folder and saying, "Hey, organize all this," or dropping a bunch of receipts in and getting a perfect expense report back. It's a game changer.
Okay, this all sounds incredibly powerful. But here's the million-dollar question. How do you make this powerful tool actually understand you and the way you work? Because right out of the box, this AI is a total blank slate every single time.
You'd think the secret is some super complicated, expertly crafted prompt, right? Well, nope. The key to getting amazing, personalized results is actually way, way simpler than that. It's a surprisingly simple setup that gives the AI a perfect, persistent memory of who you are. It's called the Maximal Effectiveness Framework, and honestly, it's kind of genius. All you do is create 3 simple text files and stick them in the AI's folder. The first one, About Me, tells it who you are and what you do. The second, Voice and Style, shows it how you like to write. And the third, Working Rules, sets the ground rules. By doing this, you're basically giving the AI a permanent brain, and it makes every single thing it produces so much better.
Okay, so this all sounds amazing. But of course, there's a catch. This kind of power has a price, and I'm talking about both the price tag and the cost to your computer's performance.
First off, you need a paid plan just to get in the door, starting at $20 a month. But here's the thing. These automated agent tasks are heavy. They use up a ton more computing power than a simple chat. So if you're a heavy user, you're probably going to need to bump up to the max plans, which give you way more usage for a higher price.
And it's not just about the money. There are a few practical things you gotta know before you jump in. Right now, CoWork is desktop only for Mac and Windows. Your stuff is all local, so nothing syncs between your devices. And, like we just talked about, if you don't use that 3-file setup, it has 0 memory from one session to the next. It just forgets everything.
And then there's this, a pretty significant hidden cost. People are reporting a bug where the app just hogs almost 2 gigabytes of RAM the second you open it, even if you're not doing anything with it. That's a lot, and it can seriously slow your whole system down, especially if you don't have a ton of memory to spare.
All right, let's zoom out for a second. Because, Anthropic isn't the only one working on this, not by a long shot. This is an all-out race between the biggest names in tech to build the ultimate AI agent that will live on our computers.
Seriously, every big name in tech is throwing their hat in the ring. You've got Microsoft pushing its Copilot deep into the Office 365 ecosystem. Google's working on Gemini, which is all about running multiple tasks at once. OpenAI has Operator, which wants to automate your web browser. And Amazon's Nova Act is focused on being super reliable for web tasks. They're all aiming for the same target, just coming at it from slightly different directions.
And you can bet the stakes are high. We're talking huge money. Analysts are predicting this whole agentic AI market is going to absolutely explode, from around $8 billion in 2025 to over $52 billion by 2030. Think about that, a six-fold jump in just 5 years. That's why everyone is desperate to win this race.
So let's bring it all home. What does this actually mean for you, for me, for the way we all work? What's the one big thing you should take away from all of this?
Here's the real takeaway. This isn't just about making a few tasks a little faster. We are talking about wiping out entire categories of boring, manual digital work. Things like organizing files, doing data entry, building reports by hand. They could just vanish. Poof, gone.
And that leaves us with a really big and, frankly, pretty urgent question. If the AI is doing all the doing, what's left for us? This technology is forcing us to move away from simple execution and focus on the things that AIs can't do, at least not yet. Things like high-level strategy, real creativity, and good old-fashioned human judgment. The real challenge for all of us is to figure out, what are you going to do with all that time and brain power when the busy work just disappears?